So Caitlin Clark in college was not the strongest player in the world. Like, she was somebody that wasn't weak by any means, but we saw when it came to the WNBA that she wasn't able to really assert herself physically. And in fairness, her first game matchup was a tough one because her first matchup was against Dijonais. Second matchup was against Benija Laney-Hamilton. Third matchup against Benija Laney again. Fourth matchup against Dijonais again. So we're looking at the team that has their first 4 games against the freaking Sun and someone for the toughest defenders. And from that point on, it did seem like she was basically that she wasn't physically up to being a top guard. Not that she was like too weak to be in the W, but like she was too weak to be like an imposing presence in the W like she was in college, because she could be physically dominated. And then obviously we have seen throughout the offseason, we have seen like some of the transformation. We've seen Caitlin Clark's arms. I'm fully convinced this is Photoshop. And do you want to know why I'm fully convinced this is Photoshop? Because I think I Photoshopped this. This is on a Reddit post. I think I'm the one that Photoshopped this, by the way. Like, I think I Photoshopped this for a thumbnail. I don't think she's quite this big. But she did get bigger. She did get bigger, but yeah, I saw this picture going around from a thumbnail, and I think I might have done it. But yeah, so either way, obviously she has gotten quite a bit bigger. And let me see if I can get the actual picture. Let's see, can I get the actual picture of her getting bigger? Either way, she has gotten significantly bigger. Stephanie White has confirmed it. Stephanie White has gone out here and confirmed that Caitlin Clark has been bulking up. Like, that she's bulked up as a player and that she's no longer, like, skinny and weak. Like, as you can see, this is the non-photoshopped version of the picture. She's still a lot bigger. She's still, well, not say picture. She's still a hell of a lot bigger. I can't even find that one. Maybe this is real. Maybe this one's real. But it looks almost like a freaking thumbnail warp. But let's take a listen to Stephanie White talking about Caitlin Clark getting stronger. And this is from the sports media interview with Richard Deitch.
You is like, one, is Caitlin Clark stronger, or do you expect her to get stronger? And two, like, what's realistic, like, in terms of from a great first year to now second year in the league where, you know, it's not as new anymore, right? And you sort of know how the league plays, if nothing else.
Yes, she is stronger, first and foremost. And again, she's got a lot of self-awareness. And, she figured that out, right away. Like, I need to get stronger. I can't get knocked around as much. And so she's done a great job of getting in the weight room and really focusing on her areas that she needs to focus on in terms of strength, in terms of, low center of gravity, time under tension, like all of those things. I think the next step is efficiency, right? Like, not so many turnovers.
And yeah, we already talked about this, and she goes on to talk about her playing her off the ball. And that's the thing, like, I was like really kind of worried when she said, oh, not so many turnovers. And then she went and explained later what they were giving her an offense, which should naturally take down her turnovers. So it wasn't like the Christie sides. We want that turnover number under this. And it's like, well, yeah, the easiest way for her turnover number to go under 5 is to not give her the ball. So then Christie sides would freaking champion, she did a good job taking care of the ball, when the reality is we watched the game and it wasn't that Caitlin Clark took care of the ball. It was you just didn't put the ball in Caitlin Clark's hands. Kelsey Mitchell and Erica Wheeler had the ball. So it's one of those things where it's like, it is, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, it's one of those things where, as good as she is, there are weaknesses. And it's clear to Stephanie White, who basically game 1 had the blueprint for how to beat Caitlin Clark. And, like, she did a really good job. A lot of people say she did a really good job in the playoffs because of how poor Caitlin Clark was in game 1. I stand by this. I don't think Stephanie White game planned exceptionally well in the playoffs. The Duana Bonner switch on her made things a little bit hard for her in game 1, but also getting poked in the eye made shooting a little bit hard. And I think Christie Sides was the best Caitlin Clark stopper last year. I think when Chris decides kind of let Caitlin Clark run the show, let's not forget game 2 where Indiana build a big lead and Caitlin Clark has either scored or assisted on every one of the team's first 20 points. And then she decides to take Caitlin Clark off the ball and the team just does not score for a while. The team genuinely just doesn't score for a while and you're like, what the hell is going on here? But like, still, Stephanie White knows what she's talking about, and confirming Caitlin Clark is stronger is going to help a lot, because we saw after Olympic break when Caitlin Clark got stronger that she was posting up guards. Like, she doesn't have very many post moves, but that double bang with her left shoulder into the turnaround layup floater thingies off the backboard, it worked really well. And like, we saw her taking some bigger guards in the post. And what that's going to mean is, if she's able to play a little bit in the post and able to shoot over people, that it becomes really difficult to put, for example, to put somebody like a Jordan Cannon on her. Like, it means you're going to have to put them on Kelsey Mitchell. So you're going to be seeing times where Caitlin's going to take the second best player. Like, she might come up against the Mystics, a Carly Samuelson might have to guard her. Against the Aces, I'm trying to think who might start who will have to start on her. They'll probably play Jackie Young on her, Jewel Lloyd and Kelsey Mitchell, and put Chelsea Gray on Bonner. I'm trying to think of the teams where she could have mismatch. Heck, if the New York Liberty have to put Sabrina Ionescu on her, which they might have to do, straight into the post, bang, bang. As Lisa Leslie might say, take her into the boom boom room. I still can't believe that was an entire broadcast. Lisa Leslie, as much as so she doesn't really talk basketball a lot, I think just for sometimes, just have her as like an alternate Lisa Leslie commentary, just for the positivity towards everything and the mad phrases. But yeah, so she's going to have that in her arsenal, and it's going to make her harder to defend. It's going to make her way, way harder to defend, because like, if you can't bully her, it means that the Dijonais hand check through 3/4 court isn't going to be allowed. Because if you don't notice, when somebody has a reputation of being tough and a strong defender, they get let away with more. In the NBA, Lou Dort, not Mikal Bridges, Jesus, OG Anunoby, those type of players get let away with so much. Whereas for Caitlin Clark, she was known early as being a little bit weak, so they kind of let a little bit more contact go with Caitlin Clark, because it's like, oh, well, this is a physical league and she's not physical. If she's physically strong, when somebody swipes across her arm and the ball just gets popped out and then they run in, when Dijonais swipes across her arm, it goes nowhere near the ball, or basically hand checks her with her left hand while swiping across her body with her right hand, maybe getting the ball, maybe not, and the ball just goes. Or Alyssa Thomas just shoulder barges her out of the way and gets the ball while she is dribbling. If she's not known as weak, those fouls become more obvious, because you can no longer say, oh, she just needs to hit the weight room, because she has hit the weight room. But yeah, I think it's going to be really good. It's going to be a good season for Indiana. It's going to be a good season for Caitlin Clark. And I think it is going to be interesting to see long-term it's going to be interesting to see how this Fever team does. And I expect them to be one of the 3 best teams in the W, but you just never know. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.